The birth of the Terran Empire began not with a declaration of war, but with a handshake. On July 15, 2157, humanity celebrated its first official contact with the Alderaan Confederation, a coalition of 7 spacefaring species that promised to welcome Earth into a peaceful galactic community. Admiral Marcus Reynolds, commander of Earth's United Space Force, stood before the United Nations Assembly, his weathered face broadcast to billions as he shook hands with High Ambassador Cathal of the Alderaans. None of them knew they were watching the last day of peace humanity would know for a generation. 6 months later, Reynolds sat in his secure bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, staring at encrypted transmissions intercepted by deep space probes. His hands trembled as he read the decoded messages for the 3rd time. The Alderaan's peace overtures had been a carefully orchestrated deception. Their diplomatic missions to Earth's colonial outposts were actually advance reconnaissance teams, mapping defense capabilities and cataloging resources. "Play it again," Reynolds ordered, his voice harsh in the dimly lit command center. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a conversation between Alderaan military commanders that had been intercepted by pure chance when one of their ships suffered a communications malfunction. "The humans possess rich worlds but primitive defenses," the Alderaan Supreme Commander sneered. "Their colonies will fall within days. Their resources will fuel our expansion for centuries. And their species will serve as an excellent example to others who resist joining the Confederation." Reynolds had spent 30 years building Earth's defensive capabilities, always preparing for a threat he hoped would never come. Now that threat wasn't just real, it was imminent. The Alderaans had been cataloging Earth's weaknesses while pretending to share technological advances. Each diplomatic gift they provided had hidden surveillance systems. Every trade agreement gave them deeper access to human infrastructure. But they had made one critical mistake: they had underestimated humanity's paranoia. Even while accepting the Alderaan's overtures of peace, Earth's military had been quietly preparing for war. Underground shipyards on Mars had been mass-producing warships under the guise of mining operations. Jupiter's moons housed missile factories disguised as research stations. And most importantly, humanity had never shared its greatest military breakthrough, the quantum displacement drive. Reynolds opened a secure channel to the President of the Earth Defense Council. "Madam President, Operation Darkshield is now active. We have confirmation of hostile intent. Requesting immediate authorization for Protocol 0. The President's face was grim as she responded. "How long do we have?" "Based on intercepted communications, the Alderaan fleet will launch their surprise attack in 36 hours. They are targeting our colonial worlds first, New Eden, Proxima Colony, and the Terra Nova settlement. They expect to cripple our resource supply lines before we can mount a defense. And our countermeasures?" Reynolds allowed himself a tight smile. "The 7th Fleet is already in position, cloaked and waiting. The Alderaans don't know about our stealth technology. When they move to attack our colonies, they'll find themselves surrounded. Casualties will be high, even with our preparations. This isn't just about defending against one attack, this will be the beginning of a war for survival. The Alderaan Confederation controls 30% of known space. They have technological advantages in several key areas. And our advantages? They think we're primitive. They don't know about the QD drive, our stealth systems, or the true size of our fleet. Most importantly, they don't understand human nature. They expect us to surrender when they demonstrate superior force. Instead, they are about to learn why humanity's history of warfare makes us so dangerous." The President was silent for a long moment. "You've been warning us about this possibility for years, Marcus. We should have listened sooner. We did enough. The Sentinel program is ready. Our deep space installations are fully armed. And Project Prometheus can be activated the moment they show hostile intent." "Very well." The President's voice hardened. "Execute Protocol 0. God help us all." Within hours, Earth's colonies received coded warnings. Civilian ships began quiet evacuations disguised as routine transport runs. Military vessels slipped into predetermined ambush positions. And deep within secret facilities across the solar system, weapons that had been developed in darkness were armed for the first time. The Alderaans thought they were about to easily conquer a primitive species. Instead, they were about to spark the creation of the most formidable military force the galaxy had ever seen. Humanity had spent its entire history preparing for this moment, honing its skills in countless wars. Now those skills would be tested on a galactic scale. As Reynolds watched his forces move into position, he remembered something his grandfather, a veteran of Earth's last World War, had told him: "Humans don't just fight wars, son. We transform ourselves through conflict. Each war changes us, makes us stronger, more adaptable. And we never forget our enemies." The Alderaans were about to learn this lesson the hard way. They thought they were launching a simple conquest. Instead, they were about to witness the birth of an empire. In his command center, Reynolds gave the order that would change human history forever: "All forces, Operation Dark Shield is now active. Show these bastards why you don't betray humanity." The First Galactic War was about to begin. And from its ashes, the Terran Empire would rise. The first battle of the war lasted exactly 7 minutes. When the Alderaan assault fleet emerged from hyperspace near Proxima Colony, they expected to find a helpless human settlement. Instead, they found themselves caught in the jaws of a trap generations in the making. Commander Diana Chen watched from the bridge of the TSS Hyperion as the Alderaan ships materialized directly into her kill zone. Her vessel, along with 30 others, had been waiting in quantum silence for 3 days, their revolutionary stealth systems making them invisible to even the most advanced Alderaan sensors. "All ships, execute Pattern Omega," Chen ordered, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "Remember your training. Today we show them what humanity can do." The human fleet decloaked simultaneously, their sudden appearance causing chaos in the Alderaan formation. Before the alien ships could react, the first volley of quantum torpedoes streaked across space. Their weapons, developed in secret over decades, phased through traditional energy shields as if they didn't exist. The Alderaan flagship exploded in a spectacular burst of light, its supposedly impenetrable defenses useless against human ingenuity. As debris scattered across the battlefield, Chen allowed herself a grim smile. "Send the signal to Earth. Operation Dark Shield is successful. The Prometheus Protocol is now active." Across human space, similar scenes played out as carefully laid traps were sprung. The Alderaans had planned to hit 12 human colonies simultaneously. At each target, they found themselves facing prepared defenders with weapons they hadn't known existed. By the end of the first day, the Alderaan Confederation had lost 30% of its invasion fleet. But this was just the beginning. In his Rocky Mountain Command Center, Admiral Reynolds watched the tactical displays with fierce satisfaction. "Initiate Phase 2, he ordered. "Deploy the Valkyrie squadrons." The Valkyries were humanity's answer to the Alderaan's technological superiority, cybernetically enhanced pilots neurally linked to quantum drive fighters. They could react at speeds no organic pilot could match, their enhanced minds processing battlefield data in microseconds. The program had been controversial, many arguing it went too far in merging human and machine. But war had a way of silencing ethical debates. The first Valkyrie engagement occurred in the Terra Nova system. Squadron leader Marcus John, more machine than man, led his pilots against an Alderaan counterattack. Their fighters moved in ways that defied conventional physics, the quantum drives allowing them to appear and disappear across the battlefield like digital ghosts. "They thought we were primitive," Zhang transmitted to his squadron. "Show them what primitive humans can do." The battle that followed would be studied in military academies for centuries to come. The Valkyries didn't just defeat the Alderaan force, they revolutionized the art of space warfare. Traditional formation tactics proved useless against pilots who could quantum shift mid-combat. Energy weapons couldn't target ships that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. But the true turning point came 3 weeks into the war. The Alderaan Confederation, reeling from their initial defeats, launched a desperate strike at Earth itself. They believed that by threatening humanity's homeworld, they could force a quick surrender. They didn't understand what they were dealing with. "All planetary defense systems online," Colonel Sarah Patel announced from her lunar command post. Initiating Project Zeus. The surface of the moon shifted as hidden doors opened in its cratered surface. Massive gun batteries, constructed in secret over 50 years, emerged from underground bunkers. The entire satellite had been transformed into a weaponized fortress, its hollow core housing enough firepower to devastate a solar system. When the Alderaan fleet arrived, they found themselves facing the full fury of a species that had spent its entire history preparing for war. The moon-based Zeus array fired, its quantum-enhanced weapons tearing holes in reality itself. Entire squadrons of alien ships vanished into artificial singularities. Others found their hull atoms randomly redistributing as quantum fields disrupted their molecular bonds. The Battle of Earth lasted less than 6 hours. Not a single Alderaan ship escaped. The message to the galaxy was clear: humanity would not only defend itself, it would dominate. In the aftermath, the Earth Defense Council convened an emergency session. The holographic chamber was filled with military commanders, political leaders, and colonial representatives. Admiral Reynolds stood at the center, his cybernetic eye glowing as he delivered his report. The Alderaan Confederation is in chaos. Their military leadership has been decapitated, their fleets are in disarray, and their subject worlds are beginning to rebel. We have achieved in 3 weeks what they thought impossible: we have brought their empire to its knees. And now? President Chen asked, her expression hard. What do you propose we do with this victory? Reynolds activated a holographic display of known space. We push forward. The Alderaans taught us we can never be safe as long as we remain passive. Their treachery has shown us that in this galaxy, power is the only language that matters. His artificial hand swept across the star map. We have the technology. We have the will. And now we have the momentum. You're talking about expansion, someone protested. About becoming the very thing we're fighting against. I'm talking about survival, Reynolds countered. And about ensuring this never happens again. We didn't want this war, but by God, we're going to finish it. And when we're done, no one will ever dare threaten Earth again. The vote was nearly unanimous. Humanity would not simply defend, it would conquer. The Terran Defense Force would become the Imperial Fleet. Earth's loose coalition of colonies would transform into something greater, something more powerful. The Terran Empire was about to be born, forged in the fires of betrayal and tempered by the steel of human resolve. And the galaxy would never be the same. The war room deep beneath Geneva hummed with tension as Fleet Admiral Reynolds unveiled Operation Stormforge. The holographic display showed hundreds of stars, with Alderaan territory marked in red. But now, for the first time, human forces were marked in gold, the color of the newly proclaimed Terran Empire. The defensive phase is over, Reynolds announced to the assembled military command. Today, we begin the systematic dismantling of the Alderaan Confederation. Not just for revenge, but to ensure humanity's permanent dominance among the stars. The first target was the Rigel sector, home to the Confederation's largest shipyards. The assault would demonstrate humanity's new doctrine of overwhelming force. Leading the charge was the newly commissioned Imperial Dreadnought, Humanity's Vengeance, a warship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Captain Michael Okonjo stood on its bridge, marveling at how far humanity had come in just 6 months of war. The ship itself was a testament to human adaptation and innovation. Its quantum-fold engines could cross vast distances in moments. Its neural-linked weapons systems could track thousands of targets simultaneously. But its most fearsome weapon was its crew, veterans of Earth's first victories, hardened by battle and driven by purpose. All hands, battle stations, Okonjo commanded. Commence Operation Stormforge. The assault on Rigel's shipyards became legendary. The Humanity's Vengeance emerged from quantum space directly inside the orbital defense grid, a maneuver considered physically impossible. Before the Alderaans could react, waves of Valkyrie fighters poured from its launch bays, their enhanced pilots moving with impossible precision. Remember New Eden, Okonjo transmitted to his forces, referencing the human colony the Alderaans had managed to bombard early in the war. Show no mercy. The battle transformed into a slaughter. Human quantum weapons ripped through Alderaan defenses like paper. The Valkyries hunted down every ship that tried to escape. When the main shipyard attempted to self-destruct, specialized boarding teams led by Major Helena Rodriguez used portable quantum tunnelists to teleport directly into its reactor core. Control room secured, Rodriguez reported, her cybernetic combat systems interfacing directly with the alien technology. Sir, you need to see this. We've found their military database. The Alderans, they weren't working alone. The intelligence discovered at Rigel changed everything. The Alderan Confederation was merely the public face of a larger alliance, the Galactic Consortium. Multiple species had conspired to keep humanity contained, fearing our potential for rapid advancement and warfare. The attempted conquest of Earth had been their solution to their human problem. Reynolds called an emergency session of the newly formed Imperial Council. The holographic chamber was packed with military and civilian leaders as he shared the devastating revelation. We're not just fighting the Alderans, he declared, his cybernetic eye pulsing with barely contained rage. We're fighting a conspiracy of species who decided humanity needed to be subjugated before we became too powerful. They feared us. And now, we're going to show them they were right to be afraid. The response was Operation Thunderstrike, a massive offensive targeting not just Alderaan worlds, but key installations of their secret allies. The Terran Empire would demonstrate that humanity's wrath, once provoked, knew no bounds. The campaign revealed another uniquely human advantage. While other species specialized in specific types of warfare, humans excelled at adaptation. Each battle taught us new lessons. Each captured technology was rapidly reverse-engineered and improved upon. The Valkyrie program expanded, producing new generations of hybrid warriors. The quantum weapons became more sophisticated. Human ships evolved almost daily. At the Battle of Antares, the consortium deployed their supposedly invincible planetary shield network. Human scientists cracked its operating principles within hours. By the time the main fleet arrived, the Valkyries had reprogrammed the shields to trap the defending forces inside their own fortifications. The beauty of human warfare, Admiral Reynolds explained to his commanders, is that we never stop learning, never stop improving. Each victory makes us stronger. Each battle teaches us more about our enemies. We're not just winning this war, we're evolving through it. The turning point came at the Battle of the Seventh Vertex, a strategic crossroads where 7 major trade routes intersected. The remaining consortium forces gathered for a final stand, believing their combined technological advantage would overwhelm the humans. They had severely miscalculated. The Imperial fleet arrived not in formation, but in chaos, ships appearing and disappearing randomly across the battlefield. The Valkyries flew impossible patterns, their neural interfaces allowing them to coordinate in ways organic minds couldn't comprehend. And at the heart of it all, the humanity's vengeance demonstrated why humanity's greatest weapon had always been its capacity for creative destruction. All ships, execute Protocol Omega, Okonjo commanded. Show them why the galaxy will learn to kneel before humanity. The battle lasted 3 days. When it was over, the combined consortium fleet was annihilated. The message to the galaxy was clear: the age of alien dominance was over. The Terran Empire had proven itself not just a defensive force, but an unstoppable tide of conquest. In the aftermath, Admiral Reynolds stood before the Imperial Council one final time. The holographic displays showed human territory expanding across the stars, gold replacing red across hundreds of systems. The consortium thought they could contain us, he declared. Instead, they created exactly what they feared: an unstoppable human empire. We did not ask for this war. But by God, we have shown the galaxy why humanity should never be underestimated. The Terran Empire was no longer just a declaration, it was becoming a terrifying reality. And the galaxy was learning that humanity's capacity for warfare was matched only by its determination to never be threatened again. Victory brought its own challenges. As the dust settled from the Battle of the Seventh Vertex, humanity faced a new test, not of military might, but of governance. The conquered territories of the former consortium lay before them, a vast expanse of worlds that needed to be controlled, administered, and transformed into the foundation of humanity's new empire. In the Imperial Palace, newly constructed atop the ruins of the old United Nations building in New York, the Council of Terra convened to shape the future. The chamber was a testament to humanity's newfound power, walls of quantum-forged metal that shifted like liquid mercury, displaying real-time updates from across conquered space. Grand Admiral Reynolds, now bearing the title of Imperial Architect, stood before the assembled leaders. His cybernetic enhancements had grown more extensive during the war, making him a living symbol of humanity's evolution. "We've won the war," he declared, his artificial eye scanning the room. "Now comes the harder task, winning the peace." The holographic display activated, showing the full extent of human conquest. Nearly 40% of known space now fell under Terran control. But holding that territory would require more than just military strength. Project Phoenix is ready for implementation, announced Dr. Yuki Tanaka, head of the Imperial Science Division. The diminutive scientist's neural implants pulsed as she shared data with the Council's systems. "We've perfected the quantum governance networks. Every world in our territory can be linked through instantaneous communication and control." The implications were staggering. Previous empires had fallen due to their vast distances between worlds and the impossibility of effective central control. Humanity's mastery of quantum technology had solved that ancient problem. But technology alone wouldn't be enough. The empire needed a new social order, a way to integrate conquered species while ensuring human dominance. That task fell to Director Marcus Bishop of the newly formed Imperial Integration Bureau. "We've developed a three-tier system," Bishop explained, his voice carrying the authority of one who had helped shape the war's intelligence operations. "Citizen status for humans and fully loyal alien species. Provisional status for those who accept imperial rule but require monitoring. And protectorate status for those who need closer supervision." The system was both elegant and ruthless. Loyal aliens could rise through the ranks, earning privileges and rights. Those who resisted would find themselves under increasingly restrictive control. It was a perfect blend of carrot and stick, encouraging cooperation while punishing defiance. The implementation began immediately. Quantum governance networks spread across former consortium space like a digital nervous system. Valkyrie peacekeeping forces, their neural interfaces now linked to the network, could respond to any threat within minutes. Former consortium worlds found themselves administered by AI systems that could predict and prevent rebellion before it began. But the true masterstroke was Operation Legacy. Deep within the Prometheus complex beneath Mars, Imperial scientists had made a breakthrough that would change everything. "We've cracked their genetic code," Dr. Tanaka announced in a classified session. "Every species in the former consortium has specific biological markers we can track and influence. Through quantum-enhanced bioengineering, we can literally reshape their evolution to serve our needs." The implications were both horrifying and fascinating. Humanity would not just rule its new empire, it would guide the very development of its subject species. Those who proved loyal would be enhanced, their children born stronger and more capable. Those who resisted would find their descendants subtly diminished, generation by generation. "This is power beyond anything the galaxy has seen," Reynolds observed. "We're not just building an empire. We're becoming the architects of evolution itself." The transformation of conquered space was swift and thorough. The quantum governance networks ensured instant communication and control across vast distances. The Valkyrie forces, now expanded into a full peacekeeping armada, maintained order with ruthless efficiency. And beneath it all, the subtle influence of Operation Legacy began to reshape the very nature of imperial society.